Go. I can't get the camera angle right. Hang on. Keep going. Okay. All right. Hey, Dawn. Thought this was the kind of appropriate music to be listening to as we get started. Okay, and we are live. Welcome, everybody. Awesome job. Yeah, I think I have it correct side. Dawn, give me a couple thumbs up. Make sure that I'm not sideways. Everything is good. Just show some love, people. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Linda. Great to see you. Awesome job. All right. Well, welcome to the Come Cook With Me show. My name is Laura Hall, and we come live to you. Well, we try to come live to you every Friday. Thank everyone for your grace last week for me missing. A lot of you know that, my father had passed away in June last year, and so we had a lot of things that we needed to get taken care of. So last week we took a week off, but I did post, if you were paying attention, I said if you shared the week before the really fabulous scallop potato recipe, if you shared that, you were entered to win. And I think when we did the Come Shop With Me on Wednesday, we had a few people who shared the show from that time, but we had quite a few shares, and I've got the lucky drawings over there, the people whose names have entered, because you're going to be getting that bad boy. Yes, it's the Instapot drawing week. This is unbelievable. So I'm so excited for the lucky person who's going to win today. So we have a lot on our plate that we're going to be actually doing today. So I have a fabulous recipe. It's just absolutely wonderful. So there's a couple of tricks that we're going to show you here as we get started. But before we do, let's just go ahead and say what we love to do in this community. Every week when we come live, we always love to say hi, who we are, where we're from, because we're all getting to know one another, and we have so many people who come back, and I so appreciate you all that come back, watch the show, share it on your Facebook wall. And yes, when you hit that share button that's in that right hand corner, when you share this episode on your Facebook wall, you get entered to win the grand prize. And every week we have a different grand prize. So always stay tuned and find out what that is. So we're going to be making, I posted last Sunday when I got home from Princeton, I posted that I made the barbecue sauce for the season, or at least for the spring summer, because we never can make enough barbecue sauce in this house. We're always doing something barbecue. So I had a lot of people say, I can't find that recipe. And that was one of the earlier shows. So I figured, let's go ahead, repeat that recipe, actually have it documented, because I've gotten so many great tips and techniques from all of you that have chimed in and said, it'd be great if you post the recipe. I don't even remember who came up with that fabulous idea, but post the recipe in the actual post of the show, and then that way we actually have it as a reference. So, and you know me, as I cook, I follow a recipe, I create my own recipes, but I don't necessarily follow the way that I write them all the time. So don't be surprised at that. That's my cooking style. I just like to look for how it's looking, the actual taste. I make changes, so I'm that kind of a cook on the go. But for those of you who really love to have a recipe and you're like stumped if you don't have one, hey, I was there. I was that person when I started cooking. So let's go ahead and give the history of the show. I have here in the slow cooker on the right-hand side, and that is really hot. So I'm going to lift the lid up, show you the little bit of steam will come up, because these chicken breasts have been, woo, look at that. They have been simmering in here for a very long time. Well, we're closing in on the 6 hours. So they're almost ready to go, these chicken breasts. So what I'm going to do is, if you followed this show before, you know what we do is we love to compare the Instapot versus the slow cooker, or a crock pot is what you might have at your house. When I started cooking, I just, for me, I thought that the crock pot was the absolute best thing. It was so easy. I could go out for my morning run, put all of the food together, go and teach for the day, come home, and we'd all have this great, glorious meal. Well, life is just even crazy, and that used to work really well. And then when we started the cooking show, we found that the fast cook, the pressure cooker, the Instapot, they're called a lot of different things. There's an express cooker. There's so many fast cookers out there, or pressure cookers out there. But what I did is I stuck with the name brand, which is Instapot. So that's what we call it. We have the Instapot versus the slow cooker. So right now I'm going to show you how to get the chicken ready in the Instapot, because it's going to be barbecued pulled chicken breast that we're going to stuff those beautiful, beautiful sweet potatoes that are back there. So what you want to do is go ahead and hit your Instapot. You're going to get your Instapot ready. So you're going to put your chicken breast in. This is all we've done. I've gone ahead and washed the chicken breast, and I've got them dried off. So I'm just going to set them in here. And you're going to want to use a fair amount of liquid. I use a bone broth. You can use any kind of broth that you love. I love the bone broth because it's just good for your gut. Bone broth is so good. Hey, Emma, great to see you. Hey, Maria, I see you waving. So I use this particular bone broth. It's just a wonderful bone broth. This one happened to be chicken, beef, and turkey. It'll just give it a little bit of extra flavor. So what I love to do to make it really easy and keep the chicken super moist, I'd love to just have the chicken breast completely covered. Now what's great about the Instapot, if you don't have an Instapot, what's really great about this, let's say you forgot to take out your chicken breasts and you didn't have them thawed, right? Guess what? You can do them instantly in the Instapot, just frozen, which is wonderful. I love that. And these are not completely covered, so I'm going to go ahead and put in just about probably a half a container more. And I just love to have them covered. And what I love to do with this particular recipe, if I were, I did something similar like a pulled pork carnitas, I think we did. So it was a really similar recipe. But I love to use the spices that I'm using in the barbecue sauce. So you're going to see a lot of spices in this. It's not really necessary for the pulled pork, but for the pulled chicken, but I just really like to have the symmetry of the spices kind of blend together. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and add, I had roasted garlic. I love to roast garlic in most of my recipes. So I'll take a jar full of garlic. I'll show you the jars that I use. I use an organic garlic, and I love, because I'm in the United States, I love the garlic that comes out of Canada, and I love the garlic that comes out of California. This is a particular brand that comes out of California. It's an organic garlic. Organic is one of those things that you know that if you followed me, you know that I'm a health and wellness coach, and I really, really strive to cook organic. I really strive to cook with no GMOs, no genetically modified organisms. I really, really strive to do a lot of clean eating. So, and I coach people that way. And so I always do the organic garlic. So I love to roast it. And this has been roasted in extra virgin olive oil. You can use an avocado oil as well if you want it a little bit lighter. But these, oh gosh, I just wish you could smell how wonderful these are. But these are, I had 2 containers because we use a lot of garlic in the barbecue sauce, because it's a barbecue sauce that's going to last a good season, maybe 2 seasons, depends on how much you use in garlic or in barbecue during your barbecuing months. So I'm just going to throw those all in there. Beautiful. And to top off that particular, I'm going to grab just a little bit of these extra spices that I've prepared for the barbecue sauce. I'm going to use, I roasted some poblano pepper. I'm going to use some of that poblano pepper. I went ahead and diced it. I'm going to throw that right into the chicken. And I've got some diced jalapeno. So there's some diced jalapeno. I'm going to add that in. Again, I'm using the same spices that I've been using in my barbecue sauce, all but the tomatoes. I'm not going to use any tomatoes. And then I roasted some habanero. So here's some habanero that I've gone ahead and diced up. Oh, the habanero, just smelling it almost makes my cheeks get red because it's so incredibly warm. Okay, so now I'm going to add some organic black pepper. And I wrote in how much you want to use in each one. And the next one I'm going to use is some herbs of the Providence. Again, I like to stick with the no GMO. You see the label there, no GMO, and I always love to stick with the organic. Yes, you need to pick up some of those great spices, Maria. Yeah, yeah. And maybe, I just got in a shipment of the Danos, so maybe you can get some of those from me. Okay, and then we have some ground cumin. Hey Kelly, how are you? Good to see you. So glad you could join us. Good luck today. I know you shared the posting on your Facebook. Then we have some crushed chipotle pepper. I love chipotle pepper in my barbecue. It's just amazing. So smoky. It just gives such a great smoky flavor. And then we're going to add some of the Japanese 7 spice. I love that. This is one of my favorite all-time spices now, the Japanese 7 spices. So has such so many wonderful, like there's a little hint of we got some oregano. Sorry, it has a hint of some of the just aromatic spices that combine with it. But what I love is the hint of the lemon peel and the lemon zest and the orange zest. So we have some crushed red pepper that we're going to put in. Hey Sandra, good luck. Good to see you. And this is a lot of seasoning. We like it a little hot and spicy, so you can always adapt. We have some Cajun seasoning. We're just going to use just a smidgen of that. Again, these are the same kind of seasonings that we're going to be putting into the barbecue sauce. I think you're going to love the barbecue sauce. I had lots of questions about the barbecue sauce. Sorry, I'm not telling you and showing you. So there's some smoked paprika. I tend to use the organic McCormick just because they are handy. They're just handy. And then finally we're going to use some cayenne pepper. This one was not an organic one. It's the only one that they didn't have when I had it. So I'm going to use it up. I'm not going to waste. And then we've got our Danos. So Danos, this is wonderful because we have actually, when you say hello, who you are, where you're from, you get entered to win the spices. So Dano is Dan Oliver, and he's a gentleman on our team, on our health and wellness team. And he's created these incredible spices just on his own. I mean, this is his company. It's a Kentucky Proud, showing you those labels. And they're phenomenal. So if you live in Kentucky or surrounding areas, you can get the Dano spices. They're at many of the local grocery stores. But he also posts his website. So if you want to get some of them, you can certainly go online and get some Danos. They come in more of a spicy and then a savory. This is more savory, the green top. But what I love about Danos is he's taken the guesswork out of your spices, really. I mean, it could be one of your like incredible spices that you just use. So, I mean, what I love about it is there's no GMOs, there's low sodium, there's no sugar added, they're gluten-free, no MSG, and no GMOs. And no MSG. MSG is one of those things you want to always stay away from. Again, endocrine disruptors. We don't need to have those. Okay, and that's it. So I'm just going to stir those spices around just a little bit, make sure that those chicken breasts are nice and covered, which they are. And I'm going to go ahead and put this particular lid on. So you want to make sure that your top is ready to go, that your pressure is off. And then when you lock it in place, that's all you need to do. Now in this particular Instant Pot, you can actually hit the actual kind of meat that it is, but I'm just going to go ahead and do pressure cook manual, and I'm setting it for 7 minutes. Here we go. And then I'm going to hit the start button. Okay, so we'll go ahead and let that build up steam, and it's going to go ahead and go to town. So what I'm going to do is, I had that oven and I heard it beep. I had it set for 425 degrees, And I'm going to go ahead while the barbecue sauce and the chicken is going to be being made, I'm going to go ahead and put in these sweet potatoes. But I want to show you what I did with them. So you really, with sweet potatoes, you really have to scrub them, get the dirt off, right? You want to get them all clean. They are organic, and you want to take a fork, and I actually have them, I'll show you what I did, but you're going to take a fork and pierce them, all right? But what I did with the roasted oil from the garlic is I gave them a nice rub. I put all of that garlic, I rubbed it all around on the sweet potato. Now I have garlic on my hands. Hang on. So the olive oil is that's what's on there, and it's just going to add complexity to the for the sweet potato cooking. It's just going to be incredibly yummy. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these in the oven because they're going to take 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those in the oven now. Now, some of you may not want to use the chicken breast, the pulled chicken breast, and stuff your potatoes, your sweet potatoes with. My husband's one of those. He says, I'm not really gonna, I'll try it. He said he'll try it, but he's not really crazy about the whole idea. So let's go ahead and get started with the barbecue sauce. This is just amazing. I think you're gonna love this recipe. So with the other Instant Pot, if you have a second one, if you don't, you just have to wait for these chicken breasts to be done, and then you can use the Instant Pot right after. So if you do only have the one Instant Pot, take the liquid out, but reserve it when the chicken breasts are done. And remember, when you're doing meat in an Instant Pot, my recommendation is always to let it do natural release for at least 5 to 7 minutes, and then you can do the rest quick release if you don't have the time. But if you make these a little bit ahead of time, that's perfect. Okay, so I have an extra Instant Pot over here, and it's a little bit larger. So this is the larger one, and I'm going to hit saute on it to get it started, and it's going to just get started heating up, and I'm going to put my olive oil in right in the beginning. And so you're going to want about 2 cups of olive oil. You don't have to have all of it to get started, but you want to at least have the bottom coated completely. And I use a lot of, in this particular recipe, I use a lot of olive oil. You can use avocado oil if you like a little bit lighter. But I also use a lot of really beautiful, beautiful balsamic vinegar. It's just so yummy. Really, really, really yummy. So that's heating up, and I have my wooden spoon over here, right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the garlic first. I've got all of that garlic that's chopped up, and that's about 20 cloves. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. Smells so good. And then I've got, these were very small organic onions, so I've got about 3 1/2 in here. I'm going to go ahead and add those in. Should have beeped by now, so I'm wondering what's going on. So hang on a second. Okay, saute. There it goes. I didn't actually hear it. It may have already sounded off, but I didn't actually hear it, so I'm going to make sure I heard it. Okay, so we got that started. All right, and now the next thing I'm going to add all of the ribbon color of the peppers. I have some beautiful diced peppers. I've got green, yellow, red, all of them diced in here. I'm going to add those to the pot. And these will saute down quite a bit. And now I'm going to add the jalapenos. Put those in. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the habaneros. There's about 4 habanero peppers in there that have been diced. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in the poblanos. Oh, it's starting to sizzle up in there. So good. The medley, I'm going to show it to you because it's not too hot. I can show it to you. But the medley of these peppers and garlic all together, it's so gorgeous. Show that to you. Take a look. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Yeah. Okay, so let's let that keep getting hot. So while that's getting hot and sauteing, we're going to go ahead and just add the flavorful spices that we're going to be using throughout the recipe. So I'll go ahead and start again with the black pepper. What's great is that this can be sauteing while you're adding the spices and just keep stirring them in. And then we have the hot Hungarian paprika. Again, all of these spices are listed in the recipe. So I had somebody comment once, take your time at showing all of the spices that you're actually using so that we can write them down. But they're actually written down in the recipe so you don't have to worry. And that's some cayenne pepper. And then we have some of the Cajun spice. Oop, I need to get, there we go. Okay. Hey John, how are you? And then we have some of the chipotle peppers. Again, I love it to be very smoky. This barbecue sauce has got a lot of great spice to it. And the chipotle just gives it just that beautiful smoky flavor. I'm going to go ahead and stir these around so some of these peppers get nice and sauteed as well. Smells so amazing. And then we have our crushed red peppers. Oh yeah, hi, yeah, Emmett, thank you for reminding people to say where you're from. Awesome job, thank you. Emmett does some really classic cooking and he tells me about his recipes, but I don't see him post too many of them. He is great with his Instant Pot. And then we have my favorite, one of my favorites. I actually have a lot of favorites, don't I? So really, that's kind of confusing when I say that. Our Japanese 7 spices. I've had a lot of people chime in and say they hadn't used that spice before, but now they're really addicted to using that one. Oh, it just smells so wonderful. I wish you could smell it. And then we have our oregano. And I forgot to pull it out, so let me just grab it, some fresh basil that I want to add to this. I'm going to just rinse them off real quick. So I just have some fresh basil, organic basil leaves. I'm going to take the stems off and just add the leaves. Just go ahead and break them off. It's really easy. And plop them in. And this is a recycle, so I'm just going to save it over here to throw into the recycle. Okay, we've got our cumin. This is going to be, the entire jar is going to be going in, so don't be surprised because I use a lot of cumin. And in this particular recipe, as well as when I do my spaghetti, cumin is a big piece of it. And then we have the herbs of the Providence. want to just take a look at what everything looks like before I add the Danos. And now's a good time if you have a lot of spices in here and it looks a little dry at the bottom. Now is a great time to add the rest of your olive oil. I so wish you could smell this. It's just amazing. Beautiful. Oh, that's just wonderful. So good. Perfect. Now I'm going to add my Danos. And since I'm adding the Danos, I should share with you who the winners were from the week before. And since I had 1 week off, I decided to make 2 spice winners. Usually it's just a one spice winner, but we're going to go ahead and do a 2 spice winner. And I'm very excited for these 2 people. One is the gal who said she wasn't familiar with our shows. It was her first time she had come on to watch the shows. And she says, I can't believe that they come shop with me so that we know all the ingredients that we have to get. And so I do that on Wednesdays. I try to do it in the afternoon on Wednesday to prepare people, because some people really love to either cook with me and or watch the recipe and then get started themselves. And so, Patty, you mentioned that. You couldn't believe that we did that, and so you were very excited about catching that. You were the Random Generator Spice winner from that week. So, Patty, I'll send you a message. Patty Fuentes, you earned the spices, the Danos spices, so I need to get your address. And the next person that won is somebody who was a late entry. He entered kind of late, but he's actually visiting me next week. Well, he's not really visiting me. I just happen to get to be partaking in it. But my husband has these friends that they have been friends since they were in high school, and they always get together. They do, once a year they get together at somebody's house, and so this year we get to see everyone here in Florida. So Barry Zabel, you are the winner of the spices, so I'll get to gift them to you when you come when I see you next week, so I'm very excited about that. In fact, some of you will meet them because they may decide to come in the kitchen and cook with me, which will be fun. I always love to have guests come and help me in the show. Oh my goodness, this is just cooking down beautifully. You want to get your vegetables al dente so they're really infused with these beautiful flavors. It just smells heavenly in there. Just so good. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up this recipe so we can get you rocking and rolling. It doesn't take but 10 minutes to actually cook in the Instapot versus 8 hours in a slow cooker, because that's how long I'll make that sauce cook. But this is just so wonderful how easy this is. So while it's just sauteing here, what I'm going to go ahead and do is add a cup of wine. And I didn't have my measuring cup out. I thought I had it out. So let me just grab it real quick. And this is one of those things that, because it's a lot of liquid, I want to, make sure that I have just enough. So I just have an old, I don't like to throw out wine from a dinner, and there's a lot left in this particular bottle. So I'll use wine in how I cook. So I'm just using, this is just a blend, actually a red blend. And it's out of Oregon. Actually, no, this is not a blend. I thought I grabbed a blend that was open back there, but it wasn't. It's just a Pinot, which is fine. A red blend Pinot, whatever you have is going to be good. Okay, so we've got that in there. Oh, that's great. Oh, so awesome. We're just going to keep letting that saute when we add these additional liquids, which will be perfect. And now I'm going to show you the actual balsamic vinegar. So you want to have at least a cup to 2 cups of vinegar. And I've got that in this particular brand. I've got 2 bottles here. And there's 8 ounces. This is about a half a cup in here, and then I've got a full one down below. So what I use is this particular brand. This is one of my favorite. It's a medium price, not terribly expensive, but it's really, really wonderful. It's aged. It has a great flavor. It just, it's not too thick, but it has just an incredible, intense flavor, and that's what I love about it. So we get that bottle in there, and then I'm going to add this other bottle. So my barbecue sauce is a olive oil and balsamic vinegar base. That's the key pieces to it. But obviously the spices are very important. And it does have tomatoes. I actually did a cook-off with barbecue sauce. Mine wasn't a winner, but one of the winners, he shared with me one of his secrets, and it was, I used a vinegar, but I didn't use the balsamic vinegar, and a little bit of an aged balsamic vinegar. And so, gosh, this was about 20 years ago, maybe, well, no, actually, yeah, the kids were born, so it was definitely 20 years ago. So, but I learned a very valuable lesson. He was a captain on a boat. So you can imagine, he had a really incredible, he chartered, and I learned the recipe from a charter trip. Or his secret. Okay, and now the other thing that I'm going to go ahead and add in is a honey. So I've got this one left over. It's just a raw honey that's local, but because it's at the end, I just had it upside down. I don't want to lose any of it. So it's just a raw, unfiltered honey, and I use it to offset the spice. So we have a little bit of spice and a little bit of sweet. And I like to use honey as my natural sugar. Okay, now I knew that that was just at the tail end. I'm going to keep it upside down and just get the last flavor of it here. Just put it over here. But I do know that I'm going to need to have this other one that was fresh in my cabinet. So I'm going to add about half of this to it. There we go. Perfect. And again, I just use a local honey. I like to, I love local honeys because they're, they're just not processed. They're really awesome. And then now I'm going to go ahead and add in one of the tomato products, and that's going to be the stewed tomatoes. So I have the whole peeled stewed tomatoes, and once I dump them in, I'm going to show you the can a little bit easier. Okay. Okay, beautiful. So I want to show you this can. This is a brand that I use all the time, so it doesn't get Becky all over. I use a organic, it's Muir Glen. Get that so you can see it. So what I love about this one is that it's organic, no GMO, but really the most important piece is this baby right here, where it says non-PBA. Non-PBA, that's bisphenol A, that's the short acronym for BPA, and that's bisphenol A. Do some research. You want to get cans that are non-PBA lining, and that's the lining that they would put in the inside of our canned vegetables. And that's a really bad endocrine disruptor. It wreaks havoc on our bodies. And so you can just imagine years and years and years and years of putting these kind of products in your body, not very good. So you really want to stop that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit saute off because we don't need to have the saute on any longer. And I'm going to add in, I've got 2 cups of bourbon that I'm going to be adding in. I'm going to start with one because my Instant Pot is getting really full. And this is more of a great flavor. But what I use is you can do either one. I'm using bourbon for this one because it turned out really well. I don't normally use a bourbon, but this Sunday when I made it, I'm going to save this last cup. for just at the tail end. Oh, we have pressure. The chickens have been pressured. So I'm going to set that aside to the back, and we'll just finish that off in just a minute. Now I want to finish the tomato paste products. So now I've got a can of crushed tomatoes, and I found the fire roasted. I love the fire roasted. It just adds more complexity to the beautiful sauce that you're going to be making. So I've got actually 2 cans of those. Beautiful. And then what I'm going to be adding are 4 cans of tomato paste. And again, I'm using the same brand, same manufacturer. And what I'm looking for with the tomato paste is I'm looking for it to be the real binding agent in our sauce. Sorry about the banging, I know that's noisy, but I want to get all of every last bit of it. I'm going to stir that in a little bit. That was Rio, for those of you who are wondering what that noise was. If you heard him whining, he was like, I want to go outside. There's another dog here, his girlfriend, and she's playing with Mackenzie outside in the pool. So he's like, I want to be out there and play with them. He'll do that for just a little bit, and then you know he'll be back in. And thank you all for everyone who continuously inquires how he's doing. Since we put him on this new diet, he's really done exceptionally well. All right, I'm on my 3rd can. And this is it. This is the last of the products that we're going to add to the barbecue sauce. Just as I had suspected, it may be just too full at the end for the rest of that bourbon. So if we are, I'm going to have to make a decision about taking some liquid out. Or just leave it as what it is. It smells heavenly in here. If you could just smell this, it's just incredible. Nice good stir. The colors are exactly the colors that I like my barbecue sauce to look. That's part of that aged balsamic vinaigrette. It really makes it a beautiful, nice, rich burgundy color. All right. Just see where my fill max line is. I actually have room just for a smidgen more, and I think we're going to just leave it at that. Sometimes it's always a good idea to have a second or 1 or 2 extra cans of paste, and this is one of those times that I wish I had an extra can or 2 of paste. But it's still going to turn out great. It'll be perfect. Alright, so it's ready to go. I'll just add a little bit of that bourbon left that we have over there. It's not quite a full cup that I have in here, but it's just going to be, I'm only going to fill it up to that max line. You've got to really pay attention to that. Give it one more stir. You don't really have to stir it, it's just on creature habit. I just want to see what the consistency looks like. And it is ready to go. Oh, that's just looking so beautiful. I'm going to add just a little bit of pink Himalayan salt because I realized I didn't do that. So I'll do that, and then we're going to get ready to pop that on and let it go. And all we're going to do is let it cook for, you can set 5 to 10 minutes on your Instapot. On Sunday when I made it, I couldn't get my Instapot to come to full pressure. It took me 2 times, so it ended up being 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So what I do is I just turn my guy up and down to make sure it's ready to go. So I have it in the off position. I'm going to start it. And I'm going gonna hit manual. So I'll go 7 minutes and let it go ahead and start. And that's how easy that is. That's so easy. So once that'll get started, we'll hear it beep. And there you go. And it's ready to go. So the very last item that we're gonna be making and sharing with you is going to be our peach mango ice cream. So seriously awesome. But before I get into that one, I just want to tell you what we're going to do. So this particular Instant Pot is ready. The chickens are in full pressure. The little pop top has come up, and so it's got about 6 more minutes. And this particular guy over here has about 45 minutes left of these chicken breasts. And as soon as the chicken breasts are done, what we're going to do is we're going to pull them out of the liquid. Save the reserved liquid. You may want to use it to cook a soup with if it's not too spicy, but save it. Then you're going to shred the chicken, and I'll take pictures of every single thing and put it in the comments. So you're going to shred the chicken, and Rio, no, honey. Can you? Yeah, thank you. So we're going to shred the chicken, and then as soon as the barbecue sauce is ready, we're going to smother the chicken and cook it really quick for another 2 minutes, 1 minute in the Instant Pot if you're doing the Instant Pot. If you have it in the slow cooker, you just add it to the slow cooker and let it just do some really quick simmering. Again, you can, if you have the newer version of the slow cooker, you can do it on a saute, and that'll really hit it up really nice and hot. Okay, so let me show you what the barbecue sauce is going to look like when it's finished. This is last week's Sunday sauce when I made it. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like. It's so beautiful. Take a look at that. So this is actually ready to go. It's and I'll take a spoon out and kind of show you a spoonful of it. And what I love about this sauce is it's so beautiful, so rich. So let me just show you a spoonful. And it coats all of your meat and everything that you're doing so wonderfully. It's just such a great sauce. So it will refrigerate and freeze. So we have several of these guys in the freezer. I'm just going to take a little lick. Oh. Sweet and spicy. Sweet and spicy. Mmm. It's so hot. It's really good. We like ours a little spicy. So when my daughter comes, she doesn't like it as spicy, so I have to tone it down. And there's a trick that I do to tone it down. So any of you that this is too spicy, just send me a message and I'll tell you how to tone it down. All right, so that's ready to go when the chickens are done, and we'll shred those. And I'm sure I can find somebody in the house that will finish that little smidgen off. So let me go ahead and share with you. Now I'll get this little area cleaned up so we have a little more room to work that won't have any of these tomato pastes in them. I've got a recycle guy right back here, so I'm going to go ahead and pop those in my recycle guy. Perfect. A little more room to go. Get this out of the way so that we don't have any cross-contamination. Beautiful. So are you ready for the peach mango ice cream? It's really kind of a sorbet, but it is absolutely wonderful. So great. Wait until you see this quick and easy recipe and how great it is. Okay, so I'm going to move my mixer closer to us so we can see it. Okay, and I've got my mixer, and I've got some ice in it. I like to have a little bit of ice in it, and we're going to use some almond milk. We need some almond milk, we need some maple syrup, and we need to get our isoline peach mango shake. And then we're going to use some Meyer lemons. Now I love to use the Meyer lemons because they have both a little bit of hint of orange, they have a hint of the lemon, and it's just really, 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 really yummy. So what I like to do is I have a little bit of a, looking for my zester real quick. It should have been out, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to use the juice of 4 Meyer lemons. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them in half. I'll show you how easy it is to juice them. So I've got my juicer right here. I love this juicer. I love that it's the company colors too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just get that nice and juiced in. Well, if you see a little bit of a seed go in, make sure you grab it. I caught one. Normally that does not happen, but it does. It does happen occasionally. Okay, those two, I'm going to pop those out right away. Beautiful. Whoop, there goes another seed. And on top of the ice. Perfect. If you're not a fan of having a little bit of the hint of the orange with the Meyer, you can use regular lemons. Oh, they're so juicy. They're just, juice is flying everywhere. So good. My husband always helps me clean up. Well, and guests who are over for dinner always help clean up too. They're gonna say, "What did you do over here? There's juice everywhere on this." It's just flying out of the juicer. You almost need to have safety goggles. That's so much juice flying up. So yummy. And we've got a few seeds here. We're going to get those out before they jump out of the And what's nice is you'll get this done as soon as, while everything is in the cooking, and then you get it, pop it in the freezer when it's all finished, and it's going to be just perfect. Okay, one more to go. And I have the recipe. It's the very end of the recipe that's been posted. So it's just great. So how many of you got your peach mango? I can't believe it's already sold out. I was planning to buy 6 more. We were having a fun game yesterday. And as we were playing the game, it came on that it was sold out, that it sold out completely. I know in Canada, if you were watching in Canada, you still had some this morning when I was talking to customer service, but yeah, it's just not available. It's not available anymore. It's just one of those, when it gets that season, it just sells out so quickly. And I don't think they were expecting this at all to happen this fast again. So I'm gonna use a cup of almond milk. And what I like, I'll show you the brand that I have. I love this particular one. You want to get one that's organic. I'm going to have trouble getting that top off, so give me 1 second. Go ahead and use this knife. want to use an organic, and I use mine, I like mine unsweetened because I think you're going to get enough sweetness from some of the other ingredients. So you're going to use a cup of the almond milk. And I'll put this lid on and show it to you. This is made by Simplicity. So delicious, dairy-free, organic, unsweetened almond milk. So what I look for is one that there's no sugar added, it's lactose-free, gluten-free, soy-free, carrageenan-free. That's one of the most important things. Vegan-free and no preservatives. So it's a really, really awesome organic milk. Organic almond milk. Love it. And then you're going to need a tablespoon of maple syrup. And I just use a organic, robust, a little bit more, okay? Maple syrup. There you go. This is just one out of New England. Okay, the organic milk in. So yummy. I may decide to make a second batch of this because it's not going to last long tonight. So I'm going to share with you a trick that I have in here. I love to use the diced mangoes, frozen diced mangoes. I'm going to grab a scissor. We're going to go ahead and pop those in. I'm going to use a bag, probably a bag and a half. But because these are all together, and I use just some organic diced mango, pop those in. I actually think I'm going to go ahead and do, just a little bit more than a half of that, if I can get them separated. That way we can save a few for toppings when you serve. You want to save a few pieces in your bag. That's what I'm attempting to do. Sorry for the noise. Okay, perfect. We've got a few pieces left over. All right, and now, this is so awesome. You're going to add 4 scoops of your peach mango isoline shake. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. Now, let's go ahead and get our zester and take one of the peels from your zest. Take one of your, and let's just go ahead and zest that in. When you serve it, you're going to want to do the same thing. Just adds a little bit of extra oomph and special presentation when you serve it. Oh, the zest is so yummy. Just one more. And I'm going to go ahead and blend this all together on high, so it is going to be a little noisy. Top on. Oh, I should have shown it to you. What was I thinking? Sorry about that. Okay, and I know I don't like working on this angle, but there it is. It's all mixed together, or it's all in the same mixer. And then we're just going to turn it on high. show this to you. It looks incredible. Take a look at that. Isn't that just yummy? Unbelievable. So, and it already has the beautiful consistency of an ice cream. So, what I'm gonna do, just to get it a little bit more firm, but you could literally serve it just like this. It's so gorgeous. But I'm gonna put it into a glass container. Let me grab my glass container. And then I'm gonna pour it in here and pop it in the freezer. And it'll mold it perfectly. I think some of this leftover I might have to take out to Mackenzie. What do you think? Yes. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Looks so good. So now you have a really beautiful dessert to have with your meal. Healthy treat at that. Because it's made from protein. So good. So good. Yeah, I think I'll put a little special treat together for Mackenzie, but I'm going to go ahead and lick the spoon. Oh my gosh. That is so simple. It's so good. But take a look. And that's just going to go right into the freezer. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in the freezer as soon as we finish here. And that's it, everybody. We have the chicken breast it's on the finished cooking. So we're just letting it do a natural release of steam. It should be done in about 5 minutes. I'm sure that these guys over here in the slow cooker will be ready. And I've got that barbecue sauce all ready to go, so I can be easily showing you and sharing with you some pictures. But we've got to wait for those sweet potatoes to be finished before we can actually go ahead and stuff them with the chicken breast. But everything should work out in perfect timing. So I really want to say thank you so much, everybody, for watching this show. And now we have our grand prize. And it's that Mac Daddy, that Instapot. So we have over here, I've got my hat full. I don't do the random generator on these guys anymore because I really like the anticipation of me not even knowing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them all. I'm gonna close my eyes, but I got them all in here, mixing them up in the hat. I lost the bag that I had before, so. All right, so. We got them all mixed up. All right, I should have called one of those people out there to come in here with me. Okay, all right, so, all right, and we're gonna pull out the winner. I don't know who it's gonna be. It's so exciting. Good luck, everyone. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, this girl is going to be so excited because it happens to be her birthday today. Amanda Denner, you won. You won, Amanda. I cannot believe it. Congratulations. You are going to be shocked. And I'm sure because it's your birthday today, she shares her birthday with her and her daddy. She is not watching the show right now. I'm pretty positive. But I'll have to send her a shout out today. I actually didn't get a chance to sing happy birthday to her, so it'll be a great surprise. Well, congratulations, Amanda. I'm really excited for you. Thanks everyone who entered. I love that you keep coming back and continue to participate. Don't forget, if you're just joining the show, you can hop up and when I hit end, you can watch from the beginning. Say hello, who you are, where you're from. And next week, we'll have to do something fun because we have all the guys coming in. Maybe we'll do another Instapot. You never know. There's just no telling what we're going to do because I know I have one in waiting and I know the guys would appreciate doing that too. So maybe. So don't forget to hit that share button and have an incredibly wonderful weekend. I know that the weather is starting to feel like spring in so many parts of the country. I'm so thankful for that. And again, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been paying attention to some of the life journey things that have been going on. Your messages have been so incredibly, so inspiring, and the love and the I just have so much gratitude for all of you. So thank you so very much. It's been my pleasure to cook with you today, and I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Bye, everybody.